we have received some exciting news and updates regarding 45 Years of Terror. This is, of course, the epic Halloween franchise reunion event celebrating 45 years since the release of John Carpenter's original Halloween, and it's going to celebrate all 13 films with all the Michael Myers actors that have ever worn the mask. They're going to be gathered in one place. It's going to be amazing. And the guest list just keeps on growing. It's already just amazing what we've already talked about. But now, since our last report, 3 more guests have been added. And these are all first time guests, as far as a first time guest to a Halloween reunion convention, and as well as first time to the horror convention scene in general. So let's check these out real quick. First up, from Halloween Ends, Jesse C. Boyd, who played Officer Mulaney in Halloween Ends. This will mark Jesse's first ever convention appearance. And obviously, Officer Mulaney, he ties in to the flashback to 78 with the Mulaney bullies, bullying Lonnie after he was bullying Tommy earlier in the day. That's all from Halloween Kills. He's related to those Mulaney's. He is Officer Mulaney. It's alluded to that he did have somewhat of a pseudo-romantic relationship with Allison at a certain point before Corey comes along and ruins his chances with Allison. And it is Jesse that, in many ways, provides the blood, if you will, to wake Michael up and get him back into good killing shape. So, not only is this Jesse's first time ever at a Halloween reunion event, it is his first ever convention appearance ever at any fan sighting event. So, very cool. And I love the love that the new movies are getting, because obviously these movies, none of them had been released in 2018. We were just days away from the release of the 2018 film, but the only cast members from that film that appeared 5 years ago at the 2018 convention were James Jude Courtney and, well, Nick Castle and Rhian Reese. So very cool that we're getting a lot from these more recent films. Now, this guest announcement is pretty amazing. Making his first ever convention signing appearance, Brent LePage, the original Lonnie Elam from John Carpenter's classic 1978 Halloween. How in 45 years Brent LePage has never appeared at a convention, never appeared at one of these Halloween reunion events. This is truly an epic ad, if you ask me. Lonnie is one of those iconic, memorable characters from the original film. It is such a part of the narrative. He's talked about between Tommy and Laurie before he's even on screen. They're setting up this Lonnie Elam. He's a bully. And then he has his run-in at the Myers house with Loomis. And then, of course, the character revisited so brilliantly with Halloween Kills. So if we're going to have Brent LePage making his first ever convention appearance, the original Lonnie, of course it only makes sense that the newest Lonnie, the adult Lonnie from Halloween Kills, Robert Longstreet, also making his first ever convention appearance. These ads are pretty epic, if you ask me. I thought Robert Longstreet did a really good job embodying an adult version of what we imagine Lonnie may be. I wondered at the time, did they try to find Brent LePage? Did an offer ever go out or anything? I'm very curious about that. But in any case, definitely cool, if you ask me, that we have the original Lonnie and Brent LePage, and we have adult Lonnie from Halloween Kills and Robert Longstreet. There is a third Lonnie, if you'll remember. During those flashback scenes, a young man named Tristanegerling plays young Lonnie, also in Halloween Kills. And I will use this opportunity, you knew it was coming, to plug my exclusive interview with Tristanegerling that dropped in October of 2021. Now, this is not a video interview. This is a written interview. I did put the link in the description of this video. But Tristan is very cool. I thought he embodied Lonnie really well. Of course, everybody seemed to love those flashback scenes. So I'm hoping that they complete this circle of Lonnie Elam. And I guess the real completion of it now we're getting into the meat and potatoes of this. We need Tristan to have all the Lonnies, but we've got to have Cameron, right? Right? We've got to get Cameron booked for this as well. So so there we go. There's the challenge to complete the Elam family tree. But there's young Tristan at the HK premiere, and I absolutely love his outfit that he wore at that premiere. He talks about that outfit and some of the very cool hidden Easter eggs in the film that you might not have caught. But Tristan talks about that, including details that you might not have even noticed, like the exact candy that his young Lonnie has in his trick-or-treat pail. I won't spoil it here. Go read my exclusive interview with Tristanegerling on playing young Lonnie Elam in Halloween Kills at the link in the description of this video. Last but certainly not least for this evening, our friend Diva Tyler, who plays Sandra, the cemetery caretaker. She appears in all three of the most recent films, in Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, and in Halloween Ends. She is amazing. Diva Tyler has been added to the guest lineup for 45 Years of Terror. Very excited for this. I had the pleasure of interviewing Diva on the eve of the Hollywood premiere of Halloween Kills. We actually did the interview via Zoom in October of 2021, and it was the night before she was getting on a plane to fly out to LA for the big premiere, and she was kind enough to give me some of her time in the middle of all that craziness and excitement, and I'm very excited to hear that Diva has been added to this lineup, and she should be. I mean, she's one of the few people, one of the few survivors to survive all three of the most recent films, and one of the few survivors ever in the history of this franchise to survive an attack from Michael Myers, much less one as brutal as we saw in Kills. So very cool to have Diva Tyler added to this. You can find a link to that interview, my exclusive interview with Diva Tyler from 2021, in the description of this video. That is, of course, not the only bit of H45 news. In addition to those new guest announcements, tickets went on sale for the highly anticipated 2023 H45 edition of Horror's Hallowed Grounds. It should be Haddonfield's Hallowed Grounds, I think, maybe more fittingly when it comes to this version of the filming locations tour, because it's all filming locations from this franchise. Of course, our buddy Sean Clark, you know him as host of the Horror's Hallowed Grounds series. The bus tour is happening on Friday, September 29th. It's technically the kickoff event that leads into the convention itself, which is a two-day convention. That happens Saturday and Sunday, September 30th and October 1st at Pasadena Convention Center. Well, the whole event kicks off that Friday, actually, with the bus tour, which I believe it leaves at like 9 a.m., something like that. So tickets went on sale just a few days ago. On Friday, as a matter of fact, August 5th, they went on sale for VIP ticket holders, and VIPs had a 24-hour window to purchase their tickets. And they promptly purchased all of the deluxe bus tickets, which is going to include an added stop, and will have Sean Clark himself doing the tour guide duties. Those deluxe bus tickets were completely snatched up by the VIP ticket holders in a matter of minutes, and about half of the regular bus tour tickets, which I believe were priced at $150 as opposed to the deluxe, which was $200. They were left for the general public and went on sale Saturday afternoon at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. Now, since then, it was within the first 24 hours or so of that sale, all available tickets for the bus tour completely sold out. So if you think people aren't excited for this 45 Years of Terror event, I mean, just look at how fast these tickets are going. Now, I know there is concern, and I've seen your comments already here tonight about scalpers. There was concern about that with the initial ticket drop for the convention itself, and we did see some of that again, like minutes after the VIP bus tours are sold out. People are saying, "I can't go. I need to sell these." It's hard to believe that somebody would buy tickets for something and then 15 minutes later realize that they can't attend. But Sean did post on his socials yesterday that he is considering adding another bus because, again, it sold out in less than 24 hours. So I would go to Sean Clark's Facebook or Instagram, comment on those posts if you want another bus to be added. It sounds like that is possible and that he is going to work with people, and in this case he's going to be contacting you directly if that happens, so to try to avoid the whole scalper situation, it sounds like. So I like that they're trying to address it head on and just take matters into their own hands. So if you didn't get your tickets, I want to hear from you, but definitely you want to go comment on that post, and maybe he'll add another bus or two so that everybody can be a part of this in some way. Now, we have another update on 45 Years of Terror because on the official website at Halloween45.com, we have a schedule of events, a preliminary schedule of events. But what we have here is the panel schedule. Yes, very exciting. So we're going to go over here right now so you can take a look at what I'm looking at, and we'll just go through it. Obviously, like I said, the Friday events is Horror's Hallowed Grounds Bus Tour. That's your Friday event. The first panel on Saturday will begin at noon, and it will be a Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers panel. Now, it says hosted by TVA. That's what these all say, because we talked earlier that Sean was mentioning on a recent episode of The Thing with Two Heads that this year there will be special guest moderators. People, for instance, he mentioned Spencer from Ice Nine Kills will be one of the moderators. I don't know, I'm just guessing Spencer will probably be moderating the 2018 trilogy panel, but we'll get to that in just a second. In any case, very interesting to me that they're beginning, the first panel of this weekend is an H6 panel. Very, very interesting and curious that that's the one they would begin with. Of course, I immediately began thinking, well, why would that be? Could it be because there's going to be an extra big amount of guests, a significant guest from that film, maybe? I don't think Paul Rudd is going to be appearing at 45 Years of Terror, but my mind did go there for a second, and oh my God, you guys, could you imagine if we had Paul Rudd at an H6 panel to kick off the event? I mean, it is his first feature film. Clueless was released before Curse, but he did shoot Curse before Clueless. It is his feature debut. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Or is it just some love for Curse? You guys let me know what you think about the fact that they're kicking off with a Curse of Michael Myers panel. Now, let's go through the rest of the schedule. At 1 p.m., there's a Masks of Myers panel. That should be very interesting. And it'll also be very interesting to see who they put up on that panel. I'm guessing they'll probably have people like Christopher Nelson, like Justin Mabry, like Vincent Van Dyke. I'd love if they would have maybe Wayne Toth up there as well. He designed Rob Zombie's masks. I'd love Christopher and Wayne Toth, and of course, they're gonna have Tommy Lee Wallace up there because he designed the original, obviously. But how cool would it be to have Tommy and Christopher and Wayne Toth all up there, and some of the other team members from these films as well? So that should be cool. At 2 p.m., they have a live podcast listed. A live podcast. Now, who will that podcast be? Well, like all of these moderators, the podcast is to be announced. So, could it be a live episode of The Thing with Two Heads? Sean and Christopher will both obviously be there. I think it's possible, but I think that's probably a little bit less likely. I mean, they did say on their episode, Sean anticipates they'd be pretty busy. I think they're probably going to be pretty busy. At least Sean will. At least too busy and distracted to really sit down and try to do what they do in front of a live audience, especially here at 2 p.m. in the middle of the day. If anything, that would be like an after-hours event, I would think, if they were going to do something like that. On the other hand, though, there is our friends, Scout and Danielle, Scout Taylor Compton and Danielle Harris. They have their podcasts, Talk Scary to Me. They have done a few live broadcasts at convention appearances, so I do very much think that that's a very strong possibility that could be the live broadcast, the live podcast that they're going to record at 2 p.m. on Saturday. But in any case, we'll have to wait and find out. Maybe it's something I'm not even thinking of. Maybe it's something unrelated. But I wouldn't be surprised if it is Talk Scary to Me. That would make a lot of sense, and that would be pretty cool because you could imagine the type guests that Scout and Danielle could then bring on. In other words, they could take their pick because there's going to be everybody there right in the next room. So, very cool. Continuing on the Saturday events at 4 p.m., the Halloween 2 panel. This is a hard one not to attend because you will remember 5 years ago at 2018, it was the Halloween 2 panel where we saw that surprise proposal, Love in Haddonfield, at the H2 panel. You can watch the video elsewhere on this channel. We've shared it many times, but the H2 panel, always a good time, and you never know what's going to happen at any of these. It's hard to, we can't be at every one of them because obviously we can't be at the panels all day. Otherwise, we'd never be on the convention floor. We got to pick and choose certain ones. It's going to be tough. I don't know which ones we're going to be at. I don't know if we're going to split the team up a little bit sometimes. We don't like doing that, but every now and then it might be necessary. You guys tell me what you're thinking, how you're going to budget your time on the 2 days, because all of these panels sound really awesome. Moving right along at 5 p.m., the final panel for Saturday will be the Halloween 2018 Trilogy panel. That will be the Halloween 2018 Kills and Ends panel. That one, I think I'm probably going to have to be at. Just looking at this list now, that one might be my priority panel for Saturday, as a matter of fact. But you guys give me your thoughts and kind of your priority list as you're seeing this schedule. Moving into Sunday now, kicking it off on Sunday at noon, there is a Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers panel. Now again, this is a bit curious to me. They're starting with specifically Halloween 4. It's not a Halloween 4, 5, and 6 panel. We've seen those in years past, or even a Halloween 4 and 5 panel. Nope, this is specifically H4. Now, I do kind of get the H4 a little bit more than the H6, if only because if it's the 45th anniversary of the original Halloween, that means it's the 35th anniversary of H4, just like it is the 25th anniversary of H2O. So I do understand there's a landmark anniversary for that specific film, H4, and it is an entry point for an entire generation. But curious that they're not going to put Don Shanks up there. Just curious. That will be followed at 1 p.m. on Sunday by the Rob Zombie's Halloween NH2 panel. So they will cover both the zombie films in that one panel. At 2 p.m., a merchandising Myers panel. So again, I'm imagining, I don't know who will be on this panel, but just looking at some of the vendors that are going to be there on the convention floor already, I would imagine they would have people like Chris Zeffro, the head of Trick or Treat Studios. They're going to have Ben from Fright Rags up there. Maybe somebody representing NECA, some of these other gutter garbs, the heads and representatives of some of these brands that are putting out some of the best Myers related merch out there. So that sounds like a very interesting panel as well. At 3 p.m., easy to remember, 3 p.m. will be the Halloween 3 Season of the Witch panel. That's right, 3 p.m. on Sunday. And then wrapping it all up at 4 p.m. on Sunday, the final panel of the evening will be the Halloween 78 panel. This is the same way they wrapped it up in 2018 as well, saving the granddaddy of them all for last. Now, there will be after-hours events on both nights as well. As you can see here, on Saturday night, starting at 8 p.m., there will be an after-hour event to be announced. The entertainment to be announced begins at 9 p.m., and that will be free for VIPs and a $10 cover for everybody else. So, very cool that non-VIPs can get in for a very reasonable price. $10, not a bad cover price. Unfortunately, though, it sounds like it's probably not going to be entertainment by John Carpenter performing an intimate show during the VIP party, because I doubt the cover charge would be $10 if that were the case. But in any case, I'm sure it'll be awesome, whatever it is. And that'll be a fun gathering after the craziness of Saturday. And then Sunday, after convention hours, the after hours event that will wrap up the entire weekend will be Drinks with Tom Atkins at the actual bar where H3 was filmed and where his character is seen, having a few drinks, talking to Ellie, and watching that Michael Myers Halloween 78 commercial on TV as well. So very cool to see this schedule of events. Now, of course, all panels are subject to change, and they may. Convention hours are 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Saturday and 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Sunday. VIP ticket holders can get in 1 hour earlier at 10 a.m. both days. You guys tell me what you think of that schedule, what we're looking at like.